Hi everybody.
Good morning, zoo patrons.
Welcome to the black screen. We're going to be streaming this for the next 8 hours. Yes, welcome to day 2. Day dose.
Alright, what are we starting off with?
We're starting off with God Hand.
The God Hand.
So what I'm gonna do is play through easy mode, fresh or new game plus, opposite of what I said.
Right.
Because I want this to take less amount of time.
People would like you to not use your God Hand or reels on stage 1-2. So, like a kick me sign run of that one.
Of that one, I can do that. And when it comes down to it, we're doing the drunken combo. So.
Is that what got the votes?
I think
that ended up getting more votes.
Yeah. The other thing about the PS2 controllers is that when you don't use them for a while, they get sticky.
What makes them sticky?
The plastic.
The rubber on the sticks. Gets, that happens to all the controllers. That eventually happens to GameCube controllers too. It just takes a lot longer. And usually a GameCube controller breaks before you can get to that point.
This is like if you don't use it for like 6 months, it'll do this.
Yeah, with the GameCube controllers, it's more like a year. Everything I needed to learn about accounting, I learned from reading The Legend of the 10 Elemental Masters.
Wow, so I got lucky with heat, so I didn't need to use the dragon kick.
Yeah.
Everything I learned about my HVAC career, I learned from reading Legend of the 10 Elemental Masters.
Everything I needed to learn about macaroni and cheese temperature and preparation, I learned from... Sorry.
There's a mild cheese stain on the oven that's going to be there for a while, I think.
Like the cheese that stained it is mild, or the stain is mild?
Both.
Both of those are fact.
Oh.
The macaroni was heated to a temperature of 211.1 degrees.
For maximum enjoyment. Actually, it's the only way I can enjoy
This
it.
produced a macaroni enjoyment factor of 350, which is the highest I've ever seen before.
Ew, you still have the kick me sign.
And you're coming out of the left channel.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm coming out of the right channel, which is great because we're actually the same person.
Now, I am the same person as Illuminatus Vespucci. That's how it happens.
That is how it works.
I kind of wish that guy like transcripted your entire Let's Play. So I could just, while you're playing, I'll just be like scrolling through it, and any like choice insight, and he'll be like, "Wow, pokecapn, you're so good at making jokes about this game and being knowledgeable about its mechanics. Why aren't you the one playing it?"
Yeah.
Did we make any jokes during that Let's Play?
No, everything was dead serious.
That sounds right. This is a pretty serious game.
Wait, which Let's Play?
God Hand.
Oh. I mean, the names thing was kind of a huge meta joke, but we weren't schmaltzing at all.
I give you permission to activate.
You have to say the magic word.
Please, you have permission to activate.
No, the magic word is whenever I find an opportunity that isn't retarded to use it,
Okay.
which is not now. Now would be approximately an awful time.
Yeah, now would be a good time to activate.
No, it wouldn't be. You don't even know what God Hand is.
I'm gonna learn.
Well, good. Keep watching. You'll learn a lot.
I know what God Hand is. God Hand is an action beat-em-up video game developed by Clover Studio, published by Capcom for the PlayStation 2 video game console. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel like a piece of shit. That was a little bit. I can't keep the chain going though. I can get like 3. I think the most I've gotten is 5.
Yeah, I think the problem is you have to be fairly precise with
It's not easy.
the analog sticks, and like the PlayStation's analog sticks are not known for their precision or their ability to snap to straight lines.
Awesome. Awesome.
Basically, they should make a control, because you know how there's that one like silver colored Xbox controller where the essential underlying mechanism of the D-pad is still the same, but you can twist it
Yeah, I want
to raise the plus in the D-pad up.
You know what the problem with those controllers is?
Nice.
Is that the buttons are no longer colored.
Yeah.
And so every single game that's like, oh yeah, the green thing is the A button.
Well,
the
real
blue
pros
thing
know
is-
There should be a
which
toggle
button.
thing. You need to press the slightly darker gray X button. No, but anyway, what they should do is they should do that for the analog sticks, where the underlying mechanism is still like an analog stick.
Instead of being a
But-
circle game, it's like
Right, but if you twist it, it fills in the it either fills in or it peels away the octagonal gate to have a circle gate, so you can take your pick of which one you want. That'd be great. 'Cause that's one of my favorite parts about like the Nintendo analog sticks, and what I'm really missing in the circle pad in the 3DS is the ability to just have your direction locked to one of the cardinal directions, and then still have the analog freedom. When you
I guess
do
I
it.
never really noticed that about, like, I guess the N64 did it.
The N64
Yeah.
did it, the GameCube did it, they carried it onto the Wii, and then with the 3DS, they didn't, because it's the circle pad, it's not an analog stick, really.
I guess I never noticed it.
I found
that would
it-
explain a lot.
Yeah, I find that I really miss it in Ocarina of Time 3D, just trying to, like, run backwards for speed, right? And I always end up, getting off of that straight down.
The problem is you're trying to task it or whatever, and
That's not a problem. Maybe
Yeah,
I
this
just...
is a valid way of playing the game.
I was just saying.
No, my immersion in the Zelda universe is all about walking backwards.
Your immersion?
Yeah, that's how I imagine Link to behave. He's just the guy who likes to walk backwards around town.
You can do this.
What are you doing to this guy?
Oh, of course!
He's the devil. No wonder there's a. You made him so mad a devil came out.
So I did some checking with my own version of Castlevania 3 after everything finished up, and I still couldn't sleep because Dracula.
Hey, it got your blood going, did it?
Yeah, I was in full on like fight or flight stress reaction mode, and I had to settle my blood somehow. But yeah, the two things that I sort of like I had one claim I wanted to check that I turned out to be correct on, and one that I was totally wrong on. I was correct about the statue nudity in the Akamojo no Densetsu or whatever. The statues are just that shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the American version, they have like a line here and a line here that indicates their clothes.
That's so stupid!
It is.
They're rocks, there's like no detail on
I
them.
know.
They could already be wearing like a completely
Yeah.
full robe,
Yep.
and you wouldn't know.
But in the US version, it is more obvious that they're wearing the statues
Mhm.
are wearing a robe. So yeah, the kind of nudity that we let kids see in life. You know, okay, whatever, a statue, who cares, right?
It's art.
But
It's
in this
different.
video game, that represents a chick. So that was claim number one. I'll let the cutscene do its business. It's a pretty good one.
Finally, a boss fight.
This is like the only cutscene I just let go.
Is the
Usually.
Oh, that's rich.
There's a picture of himself.
Near the...
What's the matter? You on a tight budget, big guy?
You know what? I'm getting a bit hungry. And a little huevon sounds like it would hit the spot.
You need to feed your brain, not your ass.
I hope you fight half as good as you talk, cabron.
Find out for yourself.
Yeah! I don't think you realize what you're getting yourself into, pendejo.
Newsflash, big guy. You can wax on, wax off all you like. I'm still kicking your ass.
Alright, so
Now let's all go
Right.
get deific braces installed.
Basic brace. But yeah. It's also good music.
yes, man, kablam.
Yeah, the other thing that I thought was going wrong, but actually was exactly the same, was the flight path and hit detection on the holy water. Like, I went back and did that fight in the American version, and just using a password to get right there and all. I mean, by that point I had mastered the level, burned through the level as quickly as anything. And but yeah, that I was just misremembering my own approach to it. You have to be slightly higher to get the holy water to break on that one block that's on the right.
What does that mean? I don't know Spanish.
I don't know that it really means. It's just a word that they say. They who speak Spanish.
Attention Spanish-speaking zoo patrons.
Yeah, I'm looking at like I found like a differences thing between CB3 and Legend of Dracula, and the main ones that everyone points out are the statues, the flea men, and the zombie sprites.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those are the most obvious ones.
And of course the music. And Grant the Nasty Dagger Throwing.
Right.
I haven't read anything that says other stuff got changed. Well, I'm sure it still was.
Well, at the very least, the sprite for the holy water is slightly different too. Because in the Japanese version, the holy water is full, and in the American version, the traveling sprite for it is missing a little bit from the, like it's slightly.
So in America, the glass is half full. In Japan, the glass is completely full.
Yes.
Sounds like they have
Full
a bit
to
better.
the brim with holy water.
You saw that, I did the,
I saw that. That was barrel roll kick, and he hit you.
and he hit me. No, but he took damage from it.
I didn't see that you
Yeah.
took damage from it. Oh. I just saw that you twisted this
Tendeo
way.
is
and
a
then you
generic
hit me.
asshole bastard dickhead.
Okay, so it's just a rude name.
I was doing so well that I decided to have fun.
Apparently, everything the stream chat needed to know about Spanish they learned from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas,
Oh. Alright.
which is a lot like Legend of the Ten Elemental Masters if they were completely different.
I don't know what happens if you get picked up by that thing and you don't react, because
Tendeo literally means pubic hair.
You're calling me pubes. The pube hand. Yeah, that's
Cubic
like
library.
Boston pubic.
yeah, that never gets old.
Oh, hey! Where did this come from?
So, what is it? Fire makes your attacks unblockable?
Yeah. And they do God Hand damage. But you're not invincible,
Right.
and they're still as slow as they ever were.
Turned him blue.
Get ready, cause I'm really gonna give it to you.
Goodbye.
Later, Elvis.
No!
That was decidedly not awesome.
I was trying to run past the dude, but he found me. Come on.
We looked past him and right to the exploding barrel that they keep in the basement.
Don't fight on stairs. Never fight on stairs.
Your opponent will always have the height advantage on stairs. It's visible to tall people.
Never fight on stairs.
Never fight on
Never
stairs.
fight on stairs.
He found the stairs. His home. Do you have stairs in your house?
You think he's a goon? You're buzzing.
Well, people are buzzing because I finally put out the link that we're here, and two, so they announced Ace Attorney 5 in Japan, and this is your reminder that that's yet another Ace Attorney game that Capcom won't localize.
Yep.
And if you need,
And they're gonna port him to iPhone? What is that about?
well, they already have iOS ports, but now they're going to put like. Actually, I looked at the screenshots and I couldn't tell, but they didn't seem that bad. But I assume they're doing the same thing that they did for Mega Man X, and they're just going to put some disgusting emulator filter over it and claim that it's HD graphics for 1, 2, and 3. And of course, they won't localize those either.
The Mega Man X thing was just a...
Because you might think I'm just bitter about Investigations 2, but hold on, bear with me. Ghost Trick came out in Japan June of 2010. And then an iOS version of it came out in December of 2010. Ghost Trick came out on the DS in the US in January of 2011. There is yet to be an iOS version. All they would have to do is stick in the script that they already have and put it on the App Store. They have not done that. And that is because Capcom does not care about you. And they will never localize another Ace Attorney game.
Well, Capcom doesn't like money, and they think that America isn't a real audience anymore, so...
That's kind of the thing, like, Ghost Trick is kind of perfectly set up for iOS.
Yeah, you just drag things around.
Right, you just drag things around, and you already have it set up where you have, like, you basically have a DS. You have enough resolution that you can fit the top screen and the middle screen in like portrait mode. Top screen and middle screen, top screen and bottom screen in portrait mode. So all you do is you just drag stuff around the bottom screen, and you have Ghost Trick. It's one of those things where porting it to iOS actually makes sense, as opposed to Mega Man X, which is the worst possible game you could ever port to a phone.
Like, if a game was on the DS and didn't use any buttons at all, it might be a good choice for an iOS port, because we've already demonstrated that a touchscreen is the correct interface for playing this game. Then think about, okay, does it require a lot of precision, like stylus type things, like canvas case.
So you can't play Brain Age on your phone.
No.
You just draw a line, everything registers as like dog, and the microphone keeps telling you it's the color blue. God damn it! I had enough of this already.
but
Your brain age is 107. That's not even a number we have stored.
frown.
You mad?
It's like, yeah, something like these games are all about this sort of macro manipulation rather than micro manipulation on a touch device. That makes sense.
Oh, what were we gonna do during Carnival stage?
Yeah, I know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna read this paper while you play the adult playground.
Well, I'm gonna go to the shop first, so hold your horses.
Actually, Medibot, you want to trade places with Kung Fu Jesus, or are you happy in the center here?
I can trade places.
Because that way he can be the Medibot and I can be you.
What?
Or maybe you can be Kung Fu Jesus and I can be Medibot.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
we're going to have to read these excerpts.
I'm Kung Fu Jesus and you're Medibot.
Alright.
Okay. Hello.
Not
I
yet.
can see the zoo here.
Not yet.
No, I'm not reading the paper.
Do you really think an academic paper starts with "Hello, I can see the zoo here"? Like, I mean, that would be a pretty good experiment.
I wasn't listening to what he was saying. I was just like, he's saying words and he's looking at the screen. What? It must be starting already.
Scums! No, it is not KFJ and Medibot cuddle
So you
time.
can either read the paper
That
itself,
only
or you can
happens
read
when
the-
you reach the donation
Well, you can
goal.
read the paper itself, or you can read the transcript, and then the cats can read the paper.
We should. I think we. What should we?
I am capable of reading things.
Okay, so how about we read the transcript?
Okay, but let's not even pay attention to the screen and try to make
But
it.
yeah,
Okay.
Well, it's not going to match up.
it's not going to match up at all.
No, it's not. It's going to be a sort of.
No, it's just like Pink Floyd and.
Okay, start.
Welcome back to Let's Play God Hand. This is Kung Fu Jesus,
This is Medibot.
and we got a cutscene. So shush.
You gotta read that.
Colon.
We go to ellipsis.
Oh, we just skipped that bit. Okay, colon ellipsis. Now slash that slash.
KFJ, what have you done to me? I feel violated.
What? Looking at women in scantily clad, you know?
I just wasn't expecting it, but then again, this is an adult playground, so maybe I should have braced myself for something like that.
Speaking of extra period, this is the beginning of stage 3 extra period, and it looks quite a bit different than what we've been seeing.
It does. You're at some sort of extra period circus extra period, a circus extra period of love.
A circus of ellipsis sin extra period, I'd like to think.
Love is a kind of sin extra period.
This is really
If you
jarring.
think about it in a more metaphorical, abstract, and existentialist
I
sense.
suppose so, but extra period, whatever extra period, don't really care because right now we're fighting a woman. And
Stop screen looking.
and this is the first female elite that we've come across.
She's got a pretty scary looking hat. Maybe put an eye
She
out.
does, yeah, and I hate to let them get their attack off, but basically they take off their hat, the blades extend, and they throw it at you extra period like Bruce did, and you know, he's got that boomerang.
Ah, it's nasty. But she throws her hat because women will throw hats.
Ellipsis, I guess, extra period. This is mostly because she has a hat, extra period, and that
Let's
has
just
blades
do the
on it.
delays that they
Okay.
imply.
And that has blades on it.
But she does have the hat because she's a woman. Or is she a woman because she has that hat?
I think neither. I'm not sure,
Do you
but
really think these two facts are unrelated?
I really do. Because I am pretty sure there are people in this game who have hats who are not women and who are women and don't have hats.
Well, things other than having a hat can make a person a woman, but
Right.
is her hat what makes her a woman?
I don't think so. I think the fact that she has boobs and wearing a
You
one
think it's
piece.
the boob?
Yeah, she's wearing a one piece
Perplexing.
and high boots. So I'm pretty
I
sure.
guess that's a
I
valid
think
theory.
yeah.
Why do they just leave all their money in that concession stand like that?
Well, I mean, if they were selling things and they were collecting money, it's not
But the stand is clearly oh my god, that clown.
Yeah, that is a
When
clown.
you kill that clown.
His name is Gary.
Gary!
This game preys on. Brother, actually, he obviously went into the circus.
Did
Not
clown
really.
school? Fighting with an umbrella is pretty classy, and so I'm gonna have to applaud you for you thinking of doing that.
Yeah, the umbrella is not like a normal weapon. You do not swing with it as you would another blunt-powered object you stab with it in the face.
Right, like the penguin would.
Right. As much as I don't like to compare Gene to villains from comic books, yeah, the penguin would probably do that.
Except the penguin's was smaller, and he'd spin it around to try and hypnotize you. And it never worked, because he's dumb.
He is pretty dumb. But you know, he always loses. So,
He can't beat the Batman that easily. Not with a hypno umbrella.
The Batman is mostly immune to mind-affecting, stuff. Mostly. There is one weakness that he has, and that's women, but usually he takes good care of them. And by take care of them, I mean if they're bad, he, puts them away in jail forever.
Well, yeah, because he's still a crime fighter, even if he does love women, as all Batmen do.
And then he tells Robin, son, you shouldn't, hang out with those loose hussies.
That's true. Loose hussies are nothing but trouble.
Okay, so a couple new enemies in this stage. We already seen the clown Gary. The zebra suit guys, his name is... We've seen him before. And the woman with the whip who, she's just a woman in a white hat with a white hat. Her name is, what's her name?
Is it Stella?
Yeah, Stella.
Stella?
Huh? It's Stella.
Stella!
Not so loud, please.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just Stella. It's okay.
But it's a regular Stella, not a yelled upstairs.
No need for alarm.
Okay, does she have a sister named Loretta by any chance?
I have no idea. I don't know these demons' twisted family trees.
Is that a box made of knives?
It is. We'll get to those later. They're the reason why. Even though I haven't been hitting anything, you'll hear people getting launched in the background.
How can you defeat a box?
Punch it. How do you defeat anything in this game? Come on.
I feel I should have thought of that.
Yeah, I thought you were, in the game.
No, I'm not in the game, nor becoming a part of the game. Oh, you made that box angry.
No, it just activates after a while. I got to it too late.
That box is so bad.
But it's like one of those things at the beach where you stand in it and put your face out and you get a buff figure.
Oh.
Yeah, except in this case it's got 4 sides and periodically knives come out, it spins towards you.
So it's more like the magic box that stage magicians will use. That they'll put people in and they'll make it look like they're getting stabbed a whole lot when they're actually not.
Except it's the other way around. The same track the other way around.
You're actually being stabbed.
It's more like, what you...
And no one's in the box. You're outside of the box.
Well, it's more like, they put a demon goes in the box and then instead of being stabbed, he stabs things.
So it's a demon in the box.
Yeah, it's a demon in the box.
Oh, okay. I don't. This seems unsafe fighting so close to an exploding barrel.
You'd think so, but simply punching a barrel does not make it explode, which is weird, I admit, but...
That makes sense. You can't just punch a barrel open. Barrels are pretty strong. You'd have to punch it a couple of times.
Well, Doom tells us otherwise. Pressing forward and punching a barrel can cause it to explode rather easily, and
those are shoddy barrels. These are high-quality demon barrels.
No, what it is this, in this game you punch things to defeat them, right?
Right.
Well, barrels don't need to be defeated, so therefore punching them does not work. You get where I'm coming from?
Oh! No, but I'll allow it.
Okay, well, I'm just saying items don't need to be defeated. So you punch them and nothing happens because you can't defeat a barrel. Don't need to.
Don't want to?
Mostly, and you know.
Can't hit it, won't eat it.
Can't stand it. Don't feel like fighting this guy hardcore, so I'm just gonna beat him up. What else is the God Hand for, after all?
Well, other than punching and kicking guys, Yeah,
other than...
I guess impressing women at bars?
Yeah,
You've already got that. Olivia character always hanging around with you. She'll probably repel any attractive lady types.
Yeah, she's kind of a psycho-possessive nutcase lady thing.
She is, but at the same time, she seems completely uninterested in you. Why do women do this?
I think it's a farce. And she's only 19, so,
Oh yeah, that makes it kind of weird.
And Jean's 23, but, I mean, in this world of apocalyptic landscapes and everything, society has yet to right itself.
Wait, Pokemon destroyed the world?
Pokemon what?
You had Pokeapocalyptic, you said.
Yeah, Pokeapocalyptic. Society has yet to right itself back to what it once was.
Yeah, okay. Which Pokemon did it, though? Or was it Pokeapocalyptic because all of the Pokemon were destroyed?
It's that one.
Oh, okay. That's kind of depressing. They wiped out 652 species.
It's a world where you cannot exist, really.
Am I a Pokemon?
No, but you're a person who probably would not be able to exist if there were no Pokemon.
Did I exist before Pokemon existed?
Yes, definitely.
I found a small hole in your argument.
Oh.
A small, me-sized hole.
You are rather small.
It's true, I am not large.
Anyway, got a little demon challenge here. Basically, fight a bunch of the people we've been fighting all stage.
They don't seem so tough.
It's true. You know, bunch of Stella. This first stage is easy because it's just them and a Gary who's there.
Gary, you goof.
But Gary's easy because he's a giant fatty, so
he is.
Just punch him a whole lot.
And like all fatties, he is vulnerable to stinging.
Yeah.
The biting gnat, the stinging wasp, and me hitting you in the nose with my kneecap.
So we got Miss Traffic here, but by the way, did I mention her name is Miss Traffic?
Is that Miss Traffic?
Yeah.
That explains a thing or two. Like the hat.
Like her hat, yeah, like the hat.
Because her hat might be like a traffic cone.
It looks rather like a traffic cone.
Only somehow deadlier than a regular traffic cone.
I don't think there's any somehow involved. And we do the Cossack dance of doom. Oh, and this is an elite that we will see later on in the next stage. He's a robot.
Oh my, he is a robot. You can tell because sparks fly off when you hit him.
And he has a robotic voice. His name is Mr. Red Robot.
No. Does he have a theme song?
No.
That's a bit depressing. I always like my robots to have theme songs.
Yeah, he's not cool enough to have a theme song. Yeah, I don't want to take any chances.
Yeah,
And I want to finish this on level dies so I can get max gold power. Look at that, 30,000!
Oh, yeah, 30,000. Nice!
I love it!
Awesome!
Ha! I don't know how many tries that little devil challenge took me.
Oh yeah, it filled your health back up.
No, it didn't actually. That's a clever edit. Thank you for, getting rid of the illusion that I'm perfect at.
Hey, what can I say? I like ruining things.
Hey, I'll just call you the next time I want, something ruined,
Yeah, you need a wet blanket, maybe.
A TV, I've got this nice TV. Maybe you want to come over and pee on it while I'm watching TV.
Yeah, I'll just pour some water on your television, or maybe leave a slice of pizza on top of your laptop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
While it's on, and then maybe close the lid.
Yeah, close the lid. I'll put the slice of keyboard on the slice of pizza on the keyboard, then close the lid.
Yeah.
Because I love ruining good things.
Like my laptop.
Like your laptop, and maybe every aspect of your personal existence. Everything you own will be destroyed by me.
That would suck. I really like the things that I own.
Well, you can't have them because I'm going to destroy them. So I guess you can still have them. They'll just be destroyed.
Well, then they're not really them anymore. They're destroyed versions.
True.
Of them.
Which answers the question of what defines an object's existence if...
Alright, let's just not go into that. It's kind of late.
If you have a boat, and you take the boat apart, and then rebuild it. Is it the same boat?
Good question. One I don't care to discover the answer to.
Are there boats in this game? I think there are a bit. Like,
Look, man. Stop talking, all right? Because I really don't. I don't have the brain power to think about it.
you don't?
And it's 10.
You should take my mental supplement.
What is your mental supplement? What is it made
Well,
of?
it's more like physical therapy, which is, say, I punch you in the back of your head until you feel better.
But then does information go there? Like you punch there?
Yeah, because I punch a hole and then the information can flow directly through the hole into your central processor.
I don't have a... Well, actually, maybe I do have a central processor. I'll get back to you on it.
If you don't have one, we can always install one, and a key for some reason.
Yeah, I'm done with the video. Well, you have to open the... You have to beat them to open the door, so...
Key to open the door. It leads to the heart that's pumping your...
So this is the next... The next level is the Masked Man's Riddle. So it is the boss fight, so we'll see you then.
Yeah. What was extra funny is... Even though KFJ is playing about 5 times as fast as the video was, as in the video that was transcripted, stuff started lining up.
Oh, I didn't notice at all. I was completely focused on
when the traffic cone lady came on. He was fighting a traffic cone lady.
Oh, awesome. Oh, but you're all the way up to the Mad Midget 5.
Right. That was entirely stage 1.
Well, I was also playing on normal and...
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the challenges and fighting everybody.
I do really like their theme song, though.
So, Kaz, I think after this fight, you will have the meaty academic content of the paper.
Oh, meaty.
Oh, there's...
And you can probably skip the, he interjects some of the transcript into it. You can probably skip that part. Because everyone's already heard the transcript now, so we'll know exactly what you're saying when you refer to line 3.
They were counting, right?
Okay, so,
Start with the title.
title. A Playground of the Unsaid. Pragmatic Analyses of Let's Play God Hand. It has been said that linguists need a science of the unsaid. Pragmatics is a discipline of cognitive linguistics that attempts to provide that science. A science that models the way an utterance acquires its full meaning beyond its purely lexical sense, the meaning it acquires in context. Because the field is so incredibly broad, there exists a cornucopia of sub-disciplines investigating science-specific aspects of all the information that is relevant to understanding a given utterance, and sometimes encoded into the language, but never made explicit. In this essay, I intend to discourse on 3 of them: deixis, conversion analysis, and politeness theory, illustrating their key points with examples from data I have collected, a transcript of one part of a Let's Play, an internet phenomenon halfway between a review of a video game and a walkthrough for it. In it, 2 Let's Players, known only by their handles Kung Fu Jesus and Medibot, offer commentary on a video recording of Kung Fu Jesus playing the game in question, God Hand, a difficult and humorous fighting game for the PlayStation 2. The full transcript is attached as an appendix. Excerpts are presented in context as necessary. Deixis. Deixis, from the Greek word for pointing, is the act of indicating, with language, elements that are relevant to the proper interpretation of an utterance, usually the extra-linguistic elements of person, place, and time, except in the special case of discourse deixis, by which another part of the text is indicated. Transcribing a commentary track on a recording of a video game lends itself superbly to an analysis of deicid... Oh, come on, guys.
Deus Ex.
Deictic forms. Indeed, it could be argued that the entire conversation is in some way deictic. Aside from digressions, the participants are discussing things happening on the screen, necessarily outside and independent of the conversation, which requires them to reference visual elements deictically if they intend to be understood. Because the commentary is structured like a presentation, it warrants no more than a passing mention that the participants' introduction of themselves as characters in the performance is also necessarily deictic. And this is Kung Fu Jesus, welcome back. This is Kung Fu Jesus, this way. The following exchange shows examples of each basic kind of deixis: person, place, time, and discourse. 1. Medibot. I just wasn't expecting it. Then again, this is an adult playground, so maybe I should brace myself for something like that. KFJ. Speaking of, this is the beginning of Stage 3, and it looks quite a bit different than what we've been seeing. Medibot. Yet it does. Give at some point a circus of love. Firstly, this, in line 1, can be interpreted as discourse deixis. The title of the video, as well as part of the video game being discussed, is An Adult Playground. And as the video makes clear, the game proper has not started yet, so Medibot can be said to be referring to the entire text of the video rather than the in-game environment. By contrast, this, in line 4, is an example of place deixis. The indeterminate nature of the demonstrative is overruled by context. A stage is understood as one of the areas into which the game's setting has been divided, and therefore to refer to that chronological segment of the game as well as the actual environment in which... Oh man, the lines are too long. As well as the actual environment in which that segment takes place, as it is used here, that is referring to a physical location, can be inferred from the reference to how it looks. The utterance immediately following it, beginning in line 7, displays both person and time deixis, and serves furthermore to illustrate the importance of participant relations to an analysis of deixis. Implicit in the act of pointing is that one must be pointing from somewhere or something at a given time to someone, somewhere, or something else at a given time, possibly but not necessarily the same time. Naturally, these positions must be defined somehow if a deictic is to be understood. Line 7, yours, serves both the function of indicating time and indicating person. Encoded in the present tense is the information that Medibot is referring to something occurring at the same time in which he is speaking, while the use of the second person pronoun would seem to indicate that he is speaking to Kung Fu Jesus. However, the rest of the utterance makes clear that he cannot be, because Kung Fu Jesus is not presently at a circus in a video game. He is sitting behind a computer screen discussing the game. The correct interpretation of the utterance, that it refers to the main character of the game, follows from the knowledge that it is common to identify with the character one controls in a video game. Use of the second person pronoun reflects the fact that Kung Fu Jesus was the one playing the game at the time of recording. The manner in which this contextual knowledge is acquired and informs the discourse is the domain of relevance theory, which I do not have the space to discuss here. A final distinction that must be articulated when discussing deixis is between gestural and symbolic use of a deictic form. The last two examples from the above exchange demonstrate this difference as well. Gestural deixis is a more or less literal indication, as could be imagined accompanying a pointing gesture. The term, this and not that, is the beginning of Stage 3, while by contrast, the character is at a circus, the reference being implicit in the utterance rather than explicit. Conversion analysis. No, conversation analysis, or CA. Conversation analysis, hereafter referred to as California, is at its most fundamental in an attempt to make useful generalizations about the way people speak together, in order to construct a model that can describe accurately the way conversation works, a sort of generative grammar of conversation, as it were. Gradle, 1987, references a group of features ostensibly common to all conversations, formulated by a previous generation of conversation analysis. These features, including the concept of a turn, the unspoken agreement that a particular participant should or should not be speaking at a given time, turn-taking, changes in this agreement designating a particular turn in favor of a new one, and the variability of the length and order of turns, which necessitate a clear system of signaling who should and should not be speaking, page 151. This system being referred to as a local management system, identifying the system with a metaphorical sorting machine. Furthermore, California considers the preferential status of responses, the state of being either preferred or dispreferred, that is to say, the form of an utterance implies the expectation of a particular sort of response, which the actual response can conform to, or deviate from. The nature and presence or absence of overlap during turn taking, for example, more than one speaker speaking simultaneously, when the system specifies that only one should have the right, as well as silence, no speaker speaking when one should have the right, to have significance as regards the mechanics of conversation. The following exchange demonstrates several of these features. 125. For instance, the transitions between speakers in this exchange are frequently marked by overlap. Where this is the case, there is often a clear distinction possible between the speaker with the turn and the speaker without. Lines 16 to 21 consist, essentially, of Kung Fu Jesus' response to Medibot's question in line 15, but it is sprinkled throughout with back channels, short in this instance, but not necessarily vocal cues from Medibot indicating that he is hearing and understanding what is being said, lines 18 and 20. Lines 21 and 22, by contrast, are a more straightforward kind of overlap. Medibot interprets Kung Fu Jesus as the latter is producing a conclusion for his argument. This would have the elocutionary force of further increasing the argument's persuasive power, but Medibot's interruption signals that the argument has already succeeded and therefore the conclusion is no longer needed. The initial silence in line 23 reflects the time it takes Kung Fu Jesus to process this information and respond to Medibot's newly produced agreement. However, Medibot's perception of this conversation's duration in time is not similarly interrupted.
It's trying to get the
So he
finger oils
perceives the
off,
silence
man.
as marking the end of Kung Fu Jesus' turn, such that when Kung Fu Jesus finally
Doesn't
starts
work.
to
You don't have an
response,
oleophobic screen.
this overlaps with line 25, as Medibot begins a new adjacency pair.
You're just helping the plastic dissolve faster.
Finally, returning to the beginning of the exchange, we can find an example of a dispreferred response. Medibot makes a joke about one of the characters in the game phrased as a generalization about women. This creates the expectation that either Kung Fu Jesus will laugh at the generalization's absurdity, if he finds the joke funny, or will acknowledge it and play along for a variety of reasons. He might wish to indicate solidarity with Medibot, or he might be unwilling to accord to him alone the social status concordant with the state of having been funny. Kung Fu Jesus, however, does neither of these things. He instead... Please, gentlemen. He instead directly He instead directly refutes the generalization as though it was meant seriously, which, according to California, requires him to hedge his response, as he does in line 3, with an affirmative right that is entirely negated by the preceding silence, the lengthening of the vowel, the falling tone, and the following I guess. Politeness theory. In contrast to Deixis, which takes participant relations as the principal elements of the unsaid to focus on, and California, which analyzes the chronological course of a conversation to elicit insights about the system that governs this course, politeness theory posits a sort of field permeating a conversation that causes speakers to gravitate towards particular forms of utterances based on the properties of the relationship between them and how the utterance would affect this relationship. The principal term to define in this regard is face, as in the colloquialism, to lose face. Politeness theory takes the concept to its logical conclusion, defining face as the image presented by a speaker to their interlocutors. This concept then further differentiates between positive face and negative face. This nomenclature perhaps makes the most sense if one imagines the in-group, that is to say, a group including at least both the speaker and the hearer of a particular utterance, as having positive polarity like a physical magnet. The desire to belong, in other words, attraction, to a group consisting of one's interlocutors is represented by positive face, while the desire to be seen as an independent individual capable of self-determination is represented by negative face. Importantly, speech acts that infringe upon or strengthen either one of these images, in either participant, called face-threatening and face-saving acts, become important objects of scrutiny. Additionally, various degrees of explicitness are distinguished and usually determined by the social relations between the interlocutors, hence the name of the theory, as the required amount of politeness being a social construct is dictated by the precise social relationship between two participants, especially when performing a face-threatening act, commonly abbreviated full-time axis, by whether the threat is on or off record, whether an on-record threat is mitigated or not, and whether the mitigation uses positive politeness, emphasizing the positive qualities of the hearer, or negative, downplaying the positive qualities of the speaker. The following exchange provides examples, and this is Medibot, which answers the question of what defines an object's existence if, down to Kung Fu Jesus, and it's 10. In line 3, Kung Fu Jesus issues the first in a series of threats to Medibot's negative face. He is increasingly averse to digressions as they are near the end of the video and the hour is late, but Medibot persists in trying to maintain the sort of random banter they have kept up throughout the video. In exercising his authority as the author of the Let's Play, he limits Medibot's capacity to determine his own contributions to the commentary, first in an on-record threat with redress using both positive and negative politeness. He issues a directive to drop the current topic, but emphasizes Medibot's positive face by saying, let's, he indicates the two of them form a group and therefore presumably enjoy equal status, while simultaneously implying that his request is not a particularly demanding one, just, and that it is reasonable, it's kinda late. When Medibot fails to comply with the directive, Kung Fu Jesus turns to a different strategy. In line 6, first performing an off-record full-time analysis using irony, silence, followed by good question, and then in an on-record full-time analysis, mitigated through negative politeness. He implies that the disparity between their willingness to continue the banter is because Medibot cares more about the mental exercise, arguably a positive quality. Medibot refuses to comply again, and, frustrated, Kung Fu Jesus flat-out tells him to stop talking, a bald imperative and therefore an unmitigated threat to his negative face. Frustration abating, Kung Fu Jesus retroactively mitigates the threat by saying he doesn't have the brain power to continue the discussion, another instance of negative politeness. Chastised, and then his positive face now diminished, because there are only two of them. The only possible groupings are Kung Fu Jesus and Medibot versus Kung Fu Jesus and Medibot. Any threat to negative face must imply a difference in status and thus make the former grouping untenable. Medibot performs a face-saving act to Kung Fu Jesus' positive face by expressing surprise at the apparent difference in brain power. The tacit assumption that has just equally tacitly been done away with is that they were equal in that regard, and therefore part of the same group, and therefore saves his own. Conclusion. In this essay, I hope to have given a brief account of these subdisciplines within the field of pragmatics deixis, which examines the relations between participants in discourse as expressed principally by the use of tense, pronouns, and demonstratives. Conversation analysis, which looks at the sequential flow of a conversation as an expression of a system that governs this flow. And politeness theory, which attributes to speakers the desire to maintain certain images of themselves towards others and describes the ways in which these desires can be fulfilled or frustrated. I've illustrated these disciplines using examples from the data I have collected. A transcript of one part of a hybrid review / walkthrough of a video game. Of course, the field of pragmatics is infinitely more complex than the short exegesis here presented can do justice to, but I hope nevertheless to have provided a basic understanding of how this science goes about its business. And then works cited and so on. The full transcript. Ooh, there you have it.
What a negative face.
No, my favorite line. My favorite line.
He does neither of these.
No, that's not my favorite line. My favorite line is the bald-faced imperative that's a direct threat to his negative face.
Stop talking.
All right.
Bald-faced imperative that is a direct threat to his negative
Well,
face.
that's done.
You thought my banter was random?
Well, no, he got an A on that paper.
He did?
I think so.
Oh, bet.
Oh, wait, no, the title of the Reddit thing was he got a good grade. And good grade.
Yeah, and good grade.
Got a good grade. Well, the sentences were long enough. That's all they were graded on,
The sentences were long enough and he had a pretty good thesaurus, so...
Yeah.
There were plenty of dinosaurs
Just
in that paper.
insert Greek language. Deistic.
Oh, that's another milestone out of the way.
He did
And now if
stupid
you ever
things.
have problems understanding what a Let's Play is about, you should...
You should, yeah, they're
You
pretty simple. Just keep watching them.
You just had the whole thing explained to you in agonizing detail.
Operative word, agonizing.
Agonizing for you. I was the one chewing.
Fine,
on that.
Alfred and Wood tail.
Chewing
I
on
was,
those
I was
sentences.
chewing on that word salad in there.
That's enough wound roughage for a week in there.
You get all that
Your
word,
wounds will be extremely regular.
get all that word fiber to clean your word colon.
Each missing,
Yeah, there were plenty of colons in there.
each misplaced Greek word, a large and burly
Are you sure
brand-like
they were misplaced
crouton.
and not just specific to the field he was?
Oh, there were plenty specific to the field. I feel they were misplaced because those sentences were too fucking long. Misplaced in the sense of Greek being used in the English language, not misplaced in the sense of misusing the terms incorrectly within the context of the paper. Nah, it's taking over. Now I'm talking like him.
Yeah.
Ah, get out.
Oh,
Poison.
please, you just used the
Poison.
word, you use the word context. People use that word all the time.
The
Has nothing to do
the
with
place
your...
where it is. Homonyms.
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 Google's fucking useless. I
They were-
assume that
they
was
were
a paper
demons.
for college because you wouldn't be talking about like conversations in high school, like conversation analysis.
Right.
It's not really a topic you dive into in high school. Unless you went to like
No, it was too specific for high school.
unless you went to like you know I don't know. William Shakespeare's is a magnet school. William Shakespeare's High School for Conversations and Playwrights.
Like Academy of Modern Sophistry or something.
Yeah. In the ninth grade, instead of reading Romeo and Juliet, you just do an entire unit on just that "bite my thumb at you" speech.
Soliloquies and syllogisms.
Oh, you got the player's handbook for that?
Yeah. Player's Handbook. Yuck. Listen.
Similes for Sophists. Part 1. We have donation of $30 from Hystrix.
Ah, the Strix.
Thank God for finally beating death. My name is Kaz. This 30 is for you.
That was donated last night, shortly after you beat death. And,
Oh man.
yeah.
I heard the thank God the same way Space Ghost does it in the bathroom meal episode. Well, thank God. It kind of.
I think this might have been the guy who originally issued the queso challenge. That he says,
Yeah.
"I will take the queso challenge. I'll even let you guys pick the game." And they also provided a horse ebook tweet to read because he didn't provide one when he said, "Take the song and challenge." Oh, this is good.
You get the back.
He went back into the archives.
It is a fact. Most doctors, nutrition experts, celebrity chefs, and best-selling authors are dead.
Certainly is a fact that
I wish to become immensely rich.
Donation.
well, you know what you need to do.
I need to donate so that I can just say my favorite post tweet. We'll make Kaz say it.
You don't have to donate.
You don't have to know.
Donation of $10 from Eric B. Thank you, Eric. There is nothing more that you can use money for. It's just everything has been bought.
Well, except for that last thing.
All right. Let's see. We've
How
got
much
a
does a
horse.
3DS capture device cost again?
We've got a horse ebook
Uh.
tweet that you need to read in a movie trailer voice.
Junior's father gets injured in a mine collapse, and the only way to save him is to hijack a train. Zavada.
Big money, big money, big money from Cat Simboy.
Really?
Whoa, Catsin Boy.
Cat Simboy.
Huh.
$60 donation.
You know, I played a Warcraft 3 custom map by Catsin Boy. I wonder if it's the same guy.
Simboy.
Cat Sim Boy.
Captain Boy, if you are the very
I think
same.
it's cat with a K.
Extol my astounding generosity. And if it's not too rude, make an Aristocrats joke featuring Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad.
I would, except you can already buy it on the NES.
The thing is, I did one Aristocrats joke, and it was very painful.
No, it's just been made. Fucking Super Mario 2.
You've been a wonderful audience.
Long live the guitar.
Guitar Man!
Guitar Man was so shitty that Twitch decided to fuck my streaming.
Guitar Man, I will have the last Guitaru.
He's like, hey, he's like, I am Zoe, king of Planet Guitaro. I will have the last Guitaru Man. I will have the last Guitaru, and then you have all three.
Katana. Brains. Jade. Snake. Noob.
Shang Tsung.
Shenlong. And I don't need to fight Blade, dude. I'm fucking your mom. I'm kicking your ass. Sorry.
Fun game.
That's no game.
That is the most dangerous game.
Probably removes your hand.
Excellent nosh, she burped richly.
Play faster.
Okay. But first...
You're ready about hand me the...
You want me to play faster, huh?
Yes.
I am full of cake.
Alright.
I have a house on the lake.
Goodbye, drunken combo. We need more speed.
Oh, that ain't good.
What?
What ain't good?
The, stream hiccup. Maybe it came back.
Wait.
It probably came back.
Can you verify that?
I can't tell with these sheets.
That's because I have it on pause.
Oh. Well, there were a couple of comments about...
Well, those comments are wrong.
You... Nar. Oh, damn.
Goodbye. My haymaker of God is funny as hell.
Oh, what about this powered by gold?
Yeah, so the Haymaker of God is this really interesting move that's at the right point of knockback. Like, not all moves knock back equally, but this one has just enough to knock back Dr. Ion. And knockback in his case means, break apart and reform into new forms.
Dick Weasel Alpha asks, how are those donations coming along, guys? Also, type it in all caps, so I can
I think the donation.
Dick Weasel Alpha, you're in for a world of hurt. But for completely unrelated reasons.
Yeah, that's nothing you did there.
Yeah, no, this was something you did like a week ago. You're gonna get such a rattling.
Hold on, that was quite a sentence.
What?
Someone had a pretty good one. This is...
Bam!
This is a sign of our times. Hargoth states, TV tropes is the Reddit of wikis. That's all.
Okay, Kaz, don't take this as a slight against your cake, but I need to go into the bathroom for a second.
Only I know what I added to the cake.
The rest of us can only guess. Yeah, Medibot went in the bathroom and made some noises. Don't use the soap! What? I said don't use the soap.
What? You can use the soap?
I'm trying to scare him for no reason.
Oh. Please, that's crazy easy to do. Do normal things.
You are terror puppet king, man. You have 1,000 puppets, and because then you control with 1,000 hands, and the strings are everywhere, and they're all scary.
Right. So.
Each negative face. The negative face of terror. The positive face of despair.
$50 from the evil turkey. I would like to hear Medibot sing I'm a Little Teapot.
Oh.
Like right now,
Yeah, like right now.
Wally's fighting the boss.
Yeah.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out. That's all you get, though. You don't get the rest of the verses.
There's other verses, but
Yeah, there's like 12 others.
I haven't known them since like elementary school.
Donation from Dominic S. for $4.73.
Ah, 473.
Yeah, that's a significant number. Wait, what?
I would you to a donation of 1 cent from Timothy F. I would you to consider my previous $1 donation to be 5 separate 20-cent donations. And here are 5 horsey books tweets.
That doesn't work that way, but we'll do it anyway.
Yeah, that's cheating, but we'll
Well,
do
we
it.
can just do the final one. Because he put special instructions for the final one.
Okay,
Oh.
then let's just do that. Then you only get that.
The final tweet to be spoken as Dracula.
Oh, well.
You're supposed to...
Anarchy! Chaos! Lawlessness! Armageddon! Terrorism! War! Famine! Natural disaster! Doomsday! Apocalypse! 2012.
Dracula shouts a lot.
That's all.
That's usually...
And a pending e-check payment of $1
Hey,
From
it's
Zim.
all good.
to Medibot. And it is a picture from Coinbox.
Coinbox, you'll get your punishment later.
What are you talking about? It's Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff.
Yeah, you'll get your punishment later.
I don't know how we define punishment around here, but Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff is awesome.
Exactly. That's why she gets punished instead of nothing.
Punishment cave.
I remember getting linked to at one point, although I have lost it since then, of a list of some very large number of punishment games. I sort of wish I still had it around.
That's a powerful link.
Google image search for the Hydra's back.
What? Is that a request?
No, it's just something I just did.
It sounds stupid enough to be a request. Heyo!
The Water Warriors Hydra is a small air-based water blaster released by Buzzbee Toys Inc. in 2011. It is basically a recolored and renamed Water Warriors Barracuda. Oddly, the Barracuda was never fully tested at iSoker.com. However, based on the results of the comparison between the Water Warriors Stingray and Water Warriors Goblin, the Water Warriors Hydra, being apparently of the same mold, likely performs the same as the older Water Warriors Barracuda. Being larger than Water Warriors Goblin, the Water Warriors Hydra makes for a more potent backup blaster or sidearm than most Water Wars.
Sidearm.
Hey man, people get really into their,
What if I hold it like this?
I mean, I'd tell anyone to do that.
I will
Literally, say
skip
go
the
soak
detailed
your hand.
reviews and go to the conclusion. As a whole, the Water Warriors Hydra is a decent, larger, pistol-sized blaster. Slightly front-heavy, but offering respectable power for a small soaker, the Hydra's only real shortcomings come primarily from its limited total size. Overall, the Hydra should serve well as a decent backup blaster or as a primary soaker in smaller skirmishes. Pros: simple design with clean lines, decent power for a pistol-sized soaker. Cons: being a small soaker, has limited output and capacity. Trigger grip area a little on the short side.
What is this? Why are you doing this?
You'll never know. I just closed the tab and deleted all of your history.
Excellent. It's probably the links from Party Tent City.
I think this is much realer than Party Tent City.
He had some moves, you gotta admit, they were kind of cool. He's dead now, so there's that.
Can you really kill a gorilla, though? Don't they just, like, get back up in a week?
Only if they've eaten enough bananas beforehand.
Only if they're me.
It's about
You don't kill them so much as
100
capture them and
bananas.
stuff them in a barrel that you place later in the stage.
They pop out.
Yeah.
Are we gonna sing the theme song?
No,
Yes?
I'm not.
Yes.
This is why people are watching the game, so they can watch the credits song.
The light of good.
What are they saying?
Shine on his soul.
What do they want?
I haven't caught up
God
yet.
hands.
They're saying yes.
So I think it needs to be sung.
I am.
How many people are watching?
You.
Like a
Would
dozen.
you stop being surly? Give me a straight answer.
Over 475.
I think that's
so
enough
turn
people.
down the sir rolls and we'll sing the damn song.
Alright, guys.
Wait, English or Japanese?
English.
Okay.
How do you about two Japanese?
Kaniga, wakabada,
Keep going.
I don't know, no, that's all I know.
My
is
God,
Japanese
Got
version.
it.
no evildoer will get past.
It's so twisted.
Fist to fist, kick your nuts, so twist your wrist. God, how it keeps my pimp hand strong, so trust me, your won't last very long. Dragon kick your ass into the Milky Way. Milky Way! Don't act like you don't like the Baldur. Baldur! My arm, my arm, my arm, my arm, my arm, my arm, I summon up the power of the God hand. Lost a limb in a fight, but don't worry, babe, I'll be cool. The ultimate power of a god is now my secret tool. My defenses are impregnable. My style is impetuous. If it's too much, I'll grovel at your feet. I take the mercy when I feel the heat.
Start here.
Dropping attacks from my roulette wheel. Roulette wheel. Apocalyptic beatdowns from the God hand.
God hand! My arm, my arm, my arm, my arm, my arm, my arm, summon up the power of the God hand! Everybody wants a piece, who's next? Don't be a fool. Hyperactive fighting style, so slick it'll make you drool. The God hand helps me work out my stress. It's overpowering, I must confess. The only person who it doesn't work on is the girl who got me into this Olivia. I sling through thugs with my shockwave. Shockwave! One beheadings and a guillotine. Head slicer! Head slicer! My arm, my arm, my arm, my arm, my arm, my arm. I summon up the power of the God hand!
Mr. Mikami, thank you.
Well, for this, anyway.
And see what my horrible time was and my awful count.
Your rate for collecting items was...
Over 3 hours.
That was too long.
Alright. Yes, I agree with you for what it's worth. Where's my dick?
Maybe I should learn the Japanese lyrics.
I think that would enrich your,
No.
something.
Cultural understanding.
Oh, cultural
Here's my cultural understanding, is that I studied Japanese for 3 years and failed every time.